Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another live episode.
I thought we weren't doing that.
We're not doing that?
I thought we were just supposed to be funny.
Oh, we are supposed
Do you even listen?
You were right. Not often. Oh, I was right. Fuck you, lady.
That's what I was completely asking, and you just glossed right over it.
Yes, I know what I'm doing because I'm Zachary Chopchinsky, the Bowtie author, and you're Martina McAtee, always doubting my shit.
And I'm usually right. I'm sick, so you have to forgive me. Today, I'm you, and you're me.
I'm you, and you're me. Who's you? I'm you. What?
Call me by your name? What?
Welcome back to our new group in OnlyFans.
Oh, whoa! That is definitely something you will see on OnlyFans only. Hey, what just happened? Loki just goosed me.
And you show her where the brown goose goes.
Oh my god! Don't do that! Sweet Jesus!
That was good timing.
It's just like, oh!
Oh! Don't ever do that again. Or lower to the right. You're
gross. No. It's illegal.
But if it wasn't.
No, gross. Don't be gross.
Aw.
Oh, I'm sorry to ruin your fantasy of a dog sticking its fucking nose up your ass. Creep.
That's true.
Stay away from my dog.
He loves me.
I know. I'm worried you're going to violate his trust.
I'm the French fry guy. Oh, I just love the food.
He's molesting my dog by buying him off with food first. That's how most guys got me.
Just bought you some French fries. Some yummy snackums.
It's true. They just pull up in a van. It says free fries on the side.
Who's come on sucking?
I don't think I've ever climbed into a van and said that. But I'm not sure.
I remember those two guys in there. It was Ronald and Dave Thomas.
Not many people are going to understand that reference at all. And you know how bad it is that I do understand that reference.
They maybe called them by their street names, which was Big Mac and Baconator. they called me their little frosty McFlurries. What?
Oh, I feel like I've been Eiffel Tower.
All right.
Enter?
Intro.
Oh, makes much more sense.
Is Laura on the phone with us right now? Well, hello. Sorry about that. So we are joined by a very special guest today that is being super patient with us right now. I'm so sorry, Laura Perez. Hello and welcome to the talk show.
Now we're a talk show? It's a podcast.
Whatever.
Hello there. How are you guys?
Good. Doing awesome. How are you?
I'm very good. Very good.
So, for those of us kind of playing the home game, why don't you, because I know who you are, because you and I have been together in cons and all that stuff locally.
What? A lot. You guys have been together?
As in similar sailing events.
Not like that.
What, now it's a regatta?
Sailing event. You know what? Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hi, I'm Laura Perez. I publish under Ellie Perez. And I know you two crazies.
Yes. So, again, welcome to the podcast. So we always like to start off with kind of saying, so you publish books or anything? So what are some of the things that you've got under your belt right now? What are they about?
Well, I'm a bit of a genre slut, so I write a little bit of everything. I write thrillers, romance, fantasy, urban fantasy. Let's see, what else do I have? Love stories. Oh, goodness. Whatever I'm asked to write is basically what I write.
Fair enough.
All right.
Sounds like me sometimes. I'm like, if I switch genres or styles one more time, I think Layla's going to kill me.
Well, yeah, because you don't actually stop the series you're writing. You just change to a different genre in the middle of a series.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I at least don't do that. I just pick up and start something else, and then I'm like, oh crap, I got to finish the other one now.
Fair. And that's you, Martina.
Yes. But I only have 2 genres that I write in.
Fair. So, what got you into writing?
Well, for me, I grew up in New York, and I used to watch my mom write. Like, it'd be a regular work day, a regular school day, and then she would come home from work, and she would write until like 3:00 in the morning. I'd get up to go to the bathroom, and she's still out there writing. So it turns out she's been writing for about 80 years now.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, she was my inspiration for starting the writing and stuff. My wife was the one who lit the fire under my ass, though. Oh, sorry. Under my butt.
Oh, you can swear on this podcast.
Okay.
God knows we do.
Oh, yeah. And same story here as well. My wife, that kind of lit the fire and keeps it going, as well as a couple of feet in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
In my ass.
A little bit of everything burnt right now.
Yeah. Actually, I could say that my wife was actually the one who lit the fire under my ass, too.
Well, there you go. We are all writers because we had wives lighting fires. We had pyromaniac wives, and now we're all writers.
Listen, as long as they're not bedding us, we're okay.
That is very true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, my wife would have never burned that bed. She loved it more than anything in the world.
So tell us about the first thing you ever wrote. I mean, is it one of the books that you have published now, or were you writing for a while beforehand?
So actually, the book, my first book that I published is called Beauty of Fear. And I started that, I published in 2012. So I had started it 13 years before that. And it was loosely based on the stuff I was going through with my ex. So, there's a little bit of domestic violence. There's a little bit of a thriller. He's a serial killer. I always thought he was anyway. So, I just embellished a little bit.
Oh, I was like, wait, you were married to a serial killer? This podcast just got way cooler.
Okay, so I will say this. And honestly, at this point and stuff, he can call me out for defamation if he wants, but he was a serial rapist.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So he was, he liked the young girls.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, he can't call you out because you haven't said a name.
Oh,
but
no,
if
I
you'd
haven't
like
said
to.
the name. I won't say the name. Anyone who knows me and stuff knows who it is. But the character Robert in my first book is basically him on steroids. So yeah.
So that book did that book take so long to write because that's a very dense and probably difficult subject matter, right?
It was like I started it great and I knew exactly how I wanted it to start and I knew how I wanted it to end. It was the stuff in the middle that I didn't realize that I couldn't finish it because I didn't like the character. I didn't like it. Turned out to be myself, but I didn't like her. I didn't like her at all.
I can relate to that.
So it was like it was just one of those things where I kind of had to get through that and get over that before I finally realized, And part of it too was I was trying to make it so that it would eventually end up being a hetero romance towards the end. And I realized that's not who I was, so I went another way with it.
Well, there you go.
Huh.
And that just kind of fixed a lot of the stuff. So yeah.
So do you find that, when writing kind of difficult things, you put a lot of yourself in the story, right? Did you find that as you're writing this and working through it, you were learning about yourself as your characters were developing?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Especially in the main character there has 2 kids, 2 girls. I have a boy and a girl, and then with my wife, we raised 4 more. So it's like there's 6 of them all together. So there's a little bit of all 6 of the kids in those 2 kids.
Wow.
Did you find that you were exhausted writing certain really emotional parts, to the point where you didn't want to pick it up again, you needed a break?
Yeah, 13 years of a break.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like. I feel like sometimes with the really emotional stuff, it's so personally draining.
Yeah, because I didn't want it to be, if you read it, it reads like a romantic thriller. That's what it is. And you don't know it's me. You don't see it's me. But I know in there certain things that happened to her, which really did happen to me, and what didn't. And every once in a while, I'll get a question from somebody that says, so what's one of the things that in the book that really did happen? And when I tell them, they're like, that's impossible. I'm like, no, No, it's not.
No, the truth is definitely stranger than fiction.
Oh, definitely.
I work in healthcare. Layla works as a cop or cop adjacent.
So.
We see some weird shit that nobody would believe in real life.
Definitely.
So now to some of our readers out there, now that looking at a subject like that, right? And you're trying to put that on paper and kind of develop the story. And like you said, in a way, kind of learn and develop out yourself. So what is some advice that you can give to some of our listeners that are maybe trying to write a story that's a little bit difficult? Like, what helped you get through that and get that on paper? And maybe some ways that they might be able to help themselves.
Acknowledge that you actually got through it. Because sometimes we don't even realize that we're in our own heads. We're still living through it. When in reality, we've already made it through. We're at the point now where we want to talk about it. We want to write, we want to write about it. And we should just do that. Like, just let it go. It's done. It's over. It's past.
And a lot of times, like, at least according to my therapist, you're supposed to talk about your traumas because, one, it normalizes it in your head so that it doesn't become like this huge thing. But also because, like, as you talk about it, you process it. And it, like, also makes it easier for other people to then talk about it. Like,
exactly
what happened to them. So that's the stuff that's the hardest part, is getting past that initial point where you're telling yourself or telling somebody else for the first time. And then it just gets easier every time you
every time you write it down, every time you talk about it, it does get easier. So, I mean, after all this stuff happened, I mean, I went from basically being a stay-at-home welfare mom to becoming a corrections officer, then a probation officer, domestic violence advocate, victim services. Like, I threw myself in that work. And I became a defensive tactics instructor to make sure that what happened to me never happened again, number one. And
so
that way I can teach other people. I'm sorry?
So you learned to basically kick ass and take names.
Yeah, you became a superhero.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Yes.
Well, that's my mantra is strong women, kick-ass heroines, like kick-ass stories, that kind of thing.
I love it.
So it's what I do.
No, that's awesome. And I love that mantra. I mean, I personally, and I've said it in a few talks and we kind of joke about it in here, I think that women make the best kick-ass characters, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Zach also sees himself as a kick-ass woman.
Hey, sometimes you got to do it.
Sometimes he definitely is a kick-ass woman. There's no bigger diva in this house than Zach.
Hey, I reach out and grab it. You know what? I got to be a kick-ass woman sometimes.
That's it. But with a bow tie.
And grabbing.
I guess that was a weird way of putting that.
Yeah.
But with a bow tie. With a bow tie.
Thank you. With a bow tie.
With a bow tie.
What are you putting your bow tie on?
Don't know, but I'm wearing it. So now
it's like, Layla, I mean, we're feeling fancy tonight.
Wearing a little suit.
It's got a bow tie and a top hat. The top hat came with it.
Oh, good grief.
Top hat slides down. So now what are you working on now? So that was your first work, but what's your most recent work? And then after that, well, let's talk about which one was your favorite. But right now, what are you working on right now?
Oh, God. I have actually multiple projects that I really need to just buckle down and work on. But I'm actually head first into a series with Mandy Stevens, actually, a.k.a. Mia Ellis of Indie Book Fest fame. Mm-hmm. And we are writing a Reaper Academy series. So it's an 8-book series that we're co-writing. Yeah, so that was born out of last year's Indie Book Fest. And she asked me if I would want to write with her. And I jumped on it because I already had a Reaper book out, which I absolutely love. And we were able to tie that in a little bit with her paranormal series and my paranormal.
Is it YA or adult?
It's, she's 16 at the time. By the time it's done, she should be about 20. So it's starting out as like a YA.
Well, I write Reapers too. So if you ever want to jump into my group and talk about it, you're welcome to, because my people love Reapers.
All things Reaper?
Yes.
I know. I have this strange fascination with Reapers. I don't know what the hell that's about, but I love it.
We've always been fascinated by dead things.
So that's what I'm working on there. But I have some folks who keep sending me nasty grams asking me where the rate of the rest of my Blade Master Chronicles is. And yeah, so I kind of have to finish some other stuff too.
It's hard to write that fast.
Right?
Yes, it is, especially when you have a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Other than writing.
Yeah, well, 2 full-time jobs. I think we're all in that boat. Well,
not anymore.
Except for Martina, who just...
Not right now.
I just quit my day job on Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She's taking up the dream and writing full-time, so...
Outstanding.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
that is the dream.
It is. So now, out of all these different projects and things, what's your favorite one that you've worked on so far, that you've accomplished?
You just burped in my face. I'm sorry. Zach?
I think my favorite is, and this is because of the reviews that I've gotten for it. My favorite will always be a love story that I wrote called Dear Lorna. Only because that's one of those that when you start reading it, you can't tell if it's hetero or not. But because of the way it plays out, and I don't like labels, so I don't label it. And so you're reading it and you realize it's a love story. And it's something that, according to the reviews and the folks who've messaged me privately, has touched them on a personal level. So like it ends up being, it's a female, and there's brain injury involved and some other stuff. But one of the best reviews I ever got, and private messages from this person too, was someone whose husband had just passed away. And she had bought this book at my first indie book fest as a pity buy.
We've all had those, yeah.
She bought it. No, and she's very upfront. She told me, I bought it as a pity buy. You were at the same table as the author that I follow, and I did it for a new, to support a new author. And she said that when her husband died, she realized that she still had it on the shelf, and she pulled it out because it was a love story. And there are a lot of love letters and poetry in the story itself that they write to each other. And so she messaged me throughout the time that she was reading it about how much it affected her, because her husband and she used to do that all the time. Oh. And so it got her through her grieving. And now, anytime she sees me, anytime I'm anywhere, anytime that book is present, she goes around and tells everybody, it's like, you have to read this book. You have to read this book. Like, this is the book you want to read. And I'm like, good grief, I'm like, thank you. It's like, okay. But it makes people cry. And I'm sorry, but I kind of like that I can make people cry. That makes me feel good. I don't know what that actually makes me. That I want to make people cry. But...
No, and I think we all feel that way. I think at the end of the day, that's what we're all trying to get, is we're trying to get that emotional attachment
to make
reader.
people cry.
Yes, we're trying to
I love to make people cry. I love to make people cry.
Reader tears.
Yes, the tears. Well, no, the best, I have to say that the best review I ever got for that one was a 3-star on Amazon. And it started with, if I had known this was a lesbian romance, I would never have picked it up. But guess what, bitch? You finished it, you read it, and you still gave it 3 stars.
Gotcha, bitch.
I still have your $4.99.
So it's like, there. So that always tickles me.
No, that's funny.
That will always be my favorite.
And that's funny you say that, because, and I'll be honest, myself, I get so aggravated when I get 3-star reviews, because I found that the 3-star reviews are often the most wishy-washy and like just
meh. They're like meh.
Yeah, they're
I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for this kind of book.
Or this book really,
why the fuck did you pick it up?
Or this book really isn't my genre, so I thought I would try it, but it turns out I didn't like it, so 3 stars. It's like, but but I like that you did something that a lot of us don't do, or like me can't do, and you took a really cool positive out of it.
Oh yeah, you still read it. Because she talked all about it. In her review, she talked all about what happened. And she still gave it 3. But she started out with that sentence, and I freaking love that.
Yeah, you should have just cut it out and used it in your marketing.
Oh, yeah.
If I'd have known this was a lesbian book, I never would have picked it up. Amazon reader.
And then conversely, you're about to sell a shitload of copies.
Yes. Lesbians everywhere just come from out of nowhere. stampeding towards the book.
So Martina, it was really funny. I remember this a long time ago, was getting some reviews about the gays in your books and so on. And then we actually changed the
Yeah, so I was getting a lot of hate mail because I have like gay, lesbian, pansexual, bisexual. I have so many, like, I got all of it. LGBT, I got it all. So people were sending me messages like, oh, this isn't a YA book. Like, I can't believe that you put this in there. Somebody was like, oh, the amount of sex in this book. Mind you, there's no sex at all in the book. You know, and it just like, it was inappropriate, not for children. So now on my ads, it says, warning, this book is hella gay.
Because we were talking about trigger warnings one day, and we didn't want to be a dick and put a trigger warning because that's so insulting.
I'm like, fuck you, I'm not putting a trigger warning because my characters are gay. I don't put a warning that my characters are straight. Fuck you. Like, so I was like, fine. How about just an overall warning? This book is hella gay. Like,
exactly.
Don't pick it up if you don't like the gay.
I am just fine with that. Yep.
Or pick it up and then bitch about it. I don't care. I still have your money.
And now I know how stupid you are.
Exactly. And so does everybody else who read your Amazon review.
Exactly.
So we get to the point now, as we get this lull in our little conversation here, where I always like to ask the authors that we interview. I think it's a good question. So I see you a lot at local conventions, obviously. We've seen each other quite a few times. And working with indies and in the indie book world, what is one thing that you really love about the indie book and writer community? And what is one thing that you think that we should all work on?
I have to say that it's just... Am I getting feedback?
We can give you feedback.
No.
I mean, if you want.
We can
right now. All right, now behave. No, actually, just that it's such a family feel, you know? Like, we're all very friendly with each other. And the folks, unfortunately, my experience has been so far that the folks that are traditionally published are a little bit more standoffish, hoity-toity, like they forget where they came from, kind of thing.
The word you're looking for is dicks.
Well, yeah. And they don't realize that a lot of us actually choose this route. It's not that it's been thrown on us. It's, I don't want anyone else dicking with my money, dicking with what I'm doing, or my covers, or my this, or my that. No.
Yeah. I never tried to get
my own little tribe. I have my own little world. Let me do it my way. If I get complete negative feedback, fine, I'll reevaluate. But I don't need someone else telling me that and ruling all of that. No. I just like the family feel of it. And then you can basically count on anybody in the indie community to help you out with something.
True.
Yeah.
Everybody finds their little tribe, I think.
Yeah, they do. And we do a lot of, like, within our tribe and stuff, my tribe. And even with the indies at the Indie Book Fest, it's, you know, sometimes it's one of those things, you know, there is the barter system. Oh, wait a minute. You're good at this? Well, I'm good at this. I'll trade you.
Yep. Well, I remember actually you made one of my students that was there's day because we were going over at the last Indie Book Fest some of her illustrations that she had brought. She was doing same thing. It's just you never know who you meet and who you're going to, you know, work with and talk to and
network.
Exactly. And her stuff is awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, Alex is fantastic. And I mean, also going through these events, that's how I met Martina. And now we're stuck together.
It's very unusual.
It is.
Well, see, now I'm gonna have to turn this around on you guys and get you guys on my podcast.
Ooh.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
I'm down.
But I don't have such a nice name like Books and Bullshit, though. I had to be mindful. My mom's still around. She still kind of yells at me about stuff.
It was so hard to get up on like Apple and certain other things because they didn't allow profanity. Meanwhile, we go on. You can search bullshit on Apple Podcasts right now and
there's
find
hundreds,
dozens.
Oh yeah,
but not us.
Yeah, but something in our algorithm or something just flagged us every time. It took Layla, actually, I can't even take the credit, weeks to figure out the way to work it into where we can be on some of these platforms.
Which means people have a hard time finding it.
But what is but on that note, so one thing as we kind of bring some of our interviews to a close, we allow you to kind of, you know, talk about your social media and your links and all that stuff. So
where can we find you?
Where can we find you?
Oh God, you can find me Anywhere and everywhere. So I'm on Instagram as Ellie Perez author, but I'm also there as Legion of Writers for my podcast. I have an alter ego, an erotica alter ego that I won't put out there because yes, my mother does pay attention and she listens to everything I'm on. So
I was getting ready to say you and Martina might have to have a conversation.
Yeah, we might have to have a conversation. That's fine. But no, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. On Twitter though, I'm there as at Honor Harrington, like Honor CPT, at HONOR CPT, because Honor Harrington is one of my favorite female characters of all time, sci-fi. And silly me, I started that when I was writing fan fiction, and I never could figure out how to change it back. So that's that is who I am. But yeah, and then I have my podcast. I only have a couple episodes up so far. But I'm trying to set up some interviews. I think I have Jonathan Mayberry signed up, so I'm kind of excited about that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's my one highlight. And all the other silly authors I get to interview. So, but yeah. So I just keep writing. I have an East Orlando writers group. We meet every Friday. We didn't meet this Friday because of the corona. That and my grandkids were here, so yeah.
The other virus.
Oh, that one just sucks all the energy from you.
And money.
Oh, I'm so tired, but God, I love them so much. We have 8 grandkids total, and they're the youngest, the 4 and 6-year-old. But my goodness, I feel like very old right now.
A lot of energy.
And knowing your personality from the bunch of times that we've met, you are probably the spoiler.
Yes and no. I'm actually the spoiler and the firm person.
Really?
Saying no. Well, because I run a karate school, so I have no problem telling a 3-year-old no, and keeping a straight face, even though I'm dying slowly inside because of the look on their face. I can hold that.
Little scrunched up, sad 3-year-old face.
Yes, don't do that. Yes, that's exactly what they do. They just look at me, and I'm like, no. I said no. And then I walk away because I just want to cry.
I didn't want to say no.
She's the mean lady.
Yeah, I'm the mean lady. But when they stub their toe, I'm the one they come to.
There you go. Well, I mean,
there you go.
And that's kind of the adage. We've got a little one on the way, but I've heard a lot over the years, and I'm a firm believer in it just because I also supervise a lot of grown children in my muggle job. Mm-hmm. But it's if you're not aggravating, or if your kids or grandkids aren't mad at you for enforcing a rule from time to time, you're not really a good mentor or parent.
Yep. Listen, this Monday, my wife and I celebrate 30 years together.
Wow.
So 30 years that we've raised 6 children. And my kids, all those kids will tell you that I used to embarrass them mercilessly, no matter where we were. And when they would get upset, I would say, humility is good for the soul.
Oh, really? Because I always say to my daughter, well, now you have something to tell your therapist.
That's it. Humility is good for the soul. You need something to talk about later, so there you go.
Laura's
lots of stories when you grow up.
I never claimed to be a good mom.
I like that, though. Humility is good for the soul. I'm going to steal that.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Humility is good for the soul. I love it. Listen, kids are the best thing to embarrass and unfortunately be embarrassed by.
Nothing will ever embarrass Zach. We made him wear a onesie.
Yeah, I did wear that romper that one time.
Yeah, he has a kid coming now, though, so you'll see.
True.
Something will embarrass him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I hope so.
It's going to be one of those ones that you see those dads on pictures like they were holding the baby in public, and then all of a sudden the baby went to the bathroom all over. So,
that'll be you. All over your bow tie.
All of his bow ties are poop green now.
Yep, that will happen. So, Laura, as we kind of, wrap this one up and everything, is there anything you want to proclaim to the masses of probably 3 listeners we have?
Hell, read my books, man. Check me out.
That is the best sign off we've had yet. Hell, read my books. I don't know what you guys are doing.
That's all I got to say. Read my books.
That was the most New York thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is a very New York thing to say. I know.
That was.
I didn't even think about that, but yes, it is a very New York thing.
Straight swagger right there. Just, I mean,
go pick up my books, bitch. You know you want to read it.
You know you do. Be
I-
honest. Now you want to read Beauty of Fear to find out what part it is that is the truth of what happened. You know you do. You want to know. What crazy thing did my ex
I'm warning you, Zach likes to highlight weird parts of books.
do. That's between me and Nora Roberts, okay?
And your grandmother.
And my grandmother, who found all my highlighted books one time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's TMI, man. TMI.
Don't ever listen to another episode of this podcast. That's what we should have called it. Zach and Martina's therapy sessions about their
Oh
child.
my God.
I will say that Laura's podcast is killing it. Would you say it's Legion of Writers?
Legion of Writers. Yep.
Sounds way cooler.
I know. Legion of Writers sounds more official. Books and bullshit sounds like we're in a garage.
No, I like books and writers.
No, we did. We are in the garage.
Part of the garage.
Zach and Martina.
But I
Porno.
I only used Legion of Writers because I was trying to figure out a name for it, and my fan group is called Ellie's Legions because I write under Laura Perez.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Well, use Legion in there." I'm like, "How the fuck am I going to use how about Legion of Writers? Because Legion of Superheroes." Okay, there we go. That works. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, it's way cooler than ours.
Yeah, actually. Little jelly on that one.
Yeah, I was like, we could have good names for
Well,
anything.
don't be too jelly because you'll be able to broadcast yours on mine. You know, when I interview you.
Truth? No, and we got to set that up. Dead serious.
Definitely, and I'm gonna be at Orb actually, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll be doing interviews there too.
Orlando reads books.
Oh, Orb, is that what they're calling it now?
At Orb.
Eagle Fest used to
I'm going to be at Orb.
Orb is way better than IBF, which sounds too much like IBS.
I know.
So, are you going to be at Space Coast this year? well?
No, I'm still on the wait list for Space Coast, so I'm hoping to be, but we'll see. If something opens up, great. If not, I'll probably just show up there on the signing day.
So have you ever heard of Once Upon a Book?
Yes.
Okay, you know that's going to be coming to Orlando, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep, you're talking to some of the coordinators. So,
Oh.
My God, is that going to be your new brag?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Oh, what are we doing? Talk to me.
So it's going to be next year, early April. But no,
Okay.
Stacey Rourke's bringing it down here, and I think she's getting ready to start posting some stuff about it, like signups and things like that. So I'll make sure to message you when that goes up, so you can get on that one because you would
Please.
And it's actually it's going to be in the same venue that IBF used to be in.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
At the Lake Mary location?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And because I asked, because they were always a little awkward, this year they actually have the full width tables.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm talking about?
I remember.
Yep. They called them slims, and they're like, "No, we have the full width tables." I'm like, "Oh, good."
All right, yeah, please let me know. Keep me in the loop on that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll message Stacey tonight, and when she's ready to get that going, I'll send you a message, and we'll get you set up on that one.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
No, I got you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, I don't have anything else for that. If you don't, Martina, anything? It's been awesome talking to you. Thanks for coming on here, and I think
Thank you guys for accommodating my time.
The interview we ever had.
this was actually a really well-flowing interview. I'm actually pretty proud of this one. So thank you for kind of coming in and really being a good beacon for that.
Well, I'm glad to help in any way I can.
Thank you very much. And if you don't have anything else for us, it was awesome talking to you.
No, I appreciate it. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you very much. And I'm
congratulations.
Sure she's around.
Yeah, we'll probably have her at,
on the podcast
at Orlando Reads.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking and stuff. I'm like, people are gonna be all over you.
Oh yeah,
we'll have her because
she'll be in a tiny little hazmat suit.
Oh, don't say that. Hopefully, it's all done and over by then.
Just because she's a baby.
No Corona, just Budweiser. No Corona.
It's my Sharona.
Oh, sorry.
No, I've been doing it in my head to the My Sharona thing.
Yeah.
No Corona. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.